Good morning, Warriors! Happy Wednesday, or you might be watching this in the future, so happy day to you. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. Why do I repeat the same thing every single day? Because what you repeatedly say gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious behavior. The average human has about 17 to up to 90,000 thoughts a day. Most of those thoughts are negative. So when you speak it into existence, you're speaking kindly to yourself and you let yourself know what's coming. That changes your vibration. Change your vibration, you attract what you want, Warriors. Now, I'll start by saying this. I believe in God. I'm a follower of Jesus, non-religious. I love God and Jesus. So all the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys is based on prayers. If you like that, continue watching. If not, probably don't want to watch my channel. But I'm all about non-religion. I'm about people. I'm the human religion. And I'm just bringing information to you guys that comes to me through my 8 hours of research a day. My history is I had 12 years in banking, executive banker, vice president, left executive banking to become a warrior in a modern day society. And I help warriors learn the game so they can never be played. The truth is there's a pandemic going on this way and there's a whole other narrative going on this way. And I'm about to show you a bunch of different news and start to tie and open up your mind to preemptive programming and how they get you ready. Now, I share my thoughts. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just I'm riding donkey into the quantum financial system and documenting my journey. Okay, that's all I do. That's what I teach my warriors. I'm like, here's my portfolio. Here's what I'm doing. Hey, doesn't mean that I'm right. What I'm telling you to do is not believe a word I say, is to not let me give you a fish, but to get out your fishing pole and start fishing. Jesus said if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. You give them a fishing pole, they're going to eat for a lifetime if you teach them how to fish. So today I'm going to walk you through the Bitcoin narrative that's getting pretty thick. Now, the thing is, there's going to be a lot of people FOMOing into cryptocurrency, and they're going to hear about Bitcoin. Now, I want to share with you a conversation that I'm going to take you through all these news reports that came out, and I'm going to show you what I think, in my opinion, that is going to be the future of cryptocurrency and the ecosystem that we are going to run on. I will stand on this all the way until the end, 100%. Okay, so I'm going to break down a conversation and I'm going to show you all the different narratives going on. Now, this is how I knew that the narrative is getting thick. So I called my mom, and many of you guys know that I had gotten divorced. I moved into a different place. My parents helped me out for a bit as we did the transition. You guys all know divorce can be different. We separating houses, all the assets, and then the C word hits, and we get locked down. So we're stuck with my parents for a bit. Not stuck with them. It was actually the biggest blessing ever as we built our company to where we're at now. And so I was with my parents for quite a while, right? And so there's a lot of cryptocurrency conversations, and then we left and we moved into we got our place built, and we're in our new place now. And I call my mom, we're best friends, and so I call my mom on a daily basis, and I called my mom yesterday, and she goes, did you hear? And I'm like, what? She goes, did you hear about the guy that locked out his Bitcoin, $200 and something million? I'm like, wow, where did you hear? She goes, I've seen it all over the news. I'm like, really? Tell me more about it. She goes, it's weird. I've been seeing Bitcoin things everywhere. I keep picking them up, and it's called the reticulator activating system. What they're doing to the public now is they're starting to bring out Bitcoin. But the conversation isn't great. What that does is it gets the attention and the reticulator activating system focused on a certain thing, just like a vision board. So the cryptocurrency becomes more familiar. But the narrative is that Bitcoin is a fraud, and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, I have my feelings about Bitcoin, and I'll share my thoughts at the end. I think there is something going on with Bitcoin. Think about it. Most of the mining's done in China. 90% of the mining's done in China. You don't know who created Bitcoin, which is really weird, right? That's really, really weird. It also is all about decentralization. I'll tell you what. I know you guys want to get away from the banks and you want to get away from big government. You're not getting away from it. Trust me. Banks are not going anywhere, Warriors. I used to work in the bank. They are powerhouses. Goldman Sachs runs your world. Bank of America runs your world. JP Morgan runs your world. If you know the game, you can't be played. You could try to go against the banks. You could try to run from it, do everything you want. But this may turn some of you guys off. You're not going to run from the banks, and they're not going to give up, and they're going to be here. You're always going to have banks. But if you know the infrastructure and you know what's going on and you use your rationale mind, you can set your family up for generational wealth. So let's start with our first article here. So UK watchdog bans Bitcoin-based products for retail investors. London Reuters, Britain's financial watchdog, said on Tuesday it will ban the sale of retail investors of products that track the price of crypto assets like Bitcoin, saying most people lose money on them. It's a very speculative asset, right? You see swings of 30% up, 30% down. It's very easy to shake people out of the crypto space. Okay. Next is central banks. Hold on one second. Here's another narrative. Central banks are considering their own digital currencies. This is what they will look like. This is really important. Okay, central banks, the Bank for International Settlements and 7 central banks published a report. This is on, I got to walk you through, October 9th, 2020, so you may have heard this. The Bank of International Settlements and 7 central banks published a report laying out some key requirements for central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. That's what CBDC stands for, central bank digital currency. They recommended that CBDCs complement but not replace cash or other forms of legal tender, and they do not harm monetary and financial stability. The report on CBDC comes from various central banks around the world considering their own respective digital currency. They are all moving to a CBDC, just so you know. What does that mean? Okay, so you see the narrative coming out for Bitcoin. Okay, then you see central banks are going to be launching a CBDC. Okay, that's a central bank digital currency. You will be operating off a central bank digital currency. It's a speculative asset. And then you have Christine Lagarde, who's somebody you want to understand in the game. Okay, now this came out on January 13th. So you saw this narrative back in 2020. Seems so long away, right? And now this is January 13th. Christine Lagarde, a powerhouse in the banking system, the head of the European Union, or the European Central Bank. Sorry, so let's listen to what she says.
It's a speculative asset by any account. I mean, when you look at the most recent developments upward and now the most recent downward trend, it's for those who had assumed that it might turn into a currency. Terribly sorry, but this is an asset, and it's a highly speculative asset, which has conducted some funny business and some interesting and totally reprehensible money laundering activity. I think that there are criminal investigations that have taken place that I'm sure will continue to take place that demonstrate it very clearly. And there has to be regulations, and this has to be applied and agreed upon. It's a matter that needs to be agreed at a global level, because if there is an escape, that escape will be used. So I think it needs to be if anything, it shows that global cooperation, multilateral action is absolutely needed, whether it's initiated by the G7, moved into the G20 and then enlarged, but it's something that needs to be addressed. And FATF is clearly an organization that has expanded.
So she's telling you, guess what, guys? Regulation's coming. And I'm going to tell my opinion when I get to the end here, okay? Then HSBC blocks cryptocurrency transfers. HSBC has banned transfers between cryptocurrency exchanges and bank accounts in the UK. HSBC, one of the largest financial institutions in the UK, has banned operations related to circulation of cryptocurrencies. According to Sunday Times, clients of the British bank will no longer be able to transfer any profits from cryptocurrency transactions into their bank. Beyond banning transfers, HSBC also no longer allows users to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies with their debit cards or credit cards. Narrative is getting thick. Regulation is coming, warriors. Now, here's the thing my mom was talking about. Many of you have seen this already. This is all over the news. This is in People magazine. Man who forgets Bitcoin password makes peace with losing basically $250 million. Okay, so what would that make you think? As my mom's sitting there watching TV, she's like, oh my God, that would scare the living crap out of me. Okay, you got all these banks saying, hey, it's a fraud. You got the central banks creating their own central bank digital currency. Christine Lagarde saying it is not a currency. You're foolish if you think it's a currency. Criminals are using it. JP Morgan said criminals are using it. Think about this, warriors. Wake up. I know a lot of you are in this space to make quick money, or you see the dollar signs with the Bitcoin, things like that, right? This is not about quick money. You're building generational wealth for your family. So you want to think about fundamental long-term investing. So JP Morgan in 2017 said cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin's a fraud, right? And now you got Christine Lagarde saying Bitcoin's a fraud, 3 years later? And Iran, another narrative going on. Iran reportedly seized 45K Bitcoin mining machines after closure of illegal operations. Think about that. 45K Bitcoin mining machines. China has about 90% of the Bitcoins mined in China. I don't want to speak out of school with the numbers. I think it's about 90% of Bitcoin mining's in China. We have our narrative in between America and China going on, okay? Then, to throw, insult to injury, I guess that's the saying, right? Let's go a little bit further down this. Hey, Fortune, I already replied to you. Come on, guys. So Biden Treasury pick Janet Yellen warns, this is on January 19th, guys. Biden Treasury pick Janet Yellen warns, is today the 19th? Today's the 20th, right? Biden Treasury pick Janet Yellen warns, come on, I already signed up for you guys. Stop trying to take my money. No thanks. All right. Biden Treasury pick Janet Yellen warns cryptocurrency poses terrorism risk. Janet Yellen, who is expected to lead the Treasury Department for the incoming Biden administration, describes cryptocurrency as a particular concern when it comes to terrorist financing. Yellen made the remark during her Senate confirmation hearing in response to a question from Senator Maggie Hassan, who asked about the potential for terrorist, criminal, and using the cryptocurrencies to fund their activities. I think many cryptocurrencies are used, at least in transaction sense, mainly for illicit financing. I think we really need to examine ways in which we can curtail their use and make sure the anti-money laundering does not occur in those channels. Yellen said Tuesday in her remarks, okay? This is pretty interesting, guys. It says, in her former post as chair of the Federal Reserve, Yellen has spoke dismissively of Bitcoin, and she is not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, Warriors, so let's take a deep breath. This doesn't mean the cryptocurrency space is going to fall, but we have to use our rational mind. I'm not against Bitcoin. I'm going to tell my warriors today privately in my Warrior Academy what I did with Bitcoin. I had a big opportunity to invest in something that's going to change the future. That's for my warriors. But listen to me. Bitcoin, we don't know who created Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining is very expensive. Okay, and I'm not against Bitcoin. I'm just telling you guys, here's the narrative that's going on. The central banks, the government isn't just going to lay down, guys. You got to think about it. What company was communicating with the SEC since their inception? I'll let you answer that question. Ripple, since its inception, has been communicating with the SEC. Is it ironic that they deemed Bitcoin and Ethereum as a non-security, but they stopped at Ripple? And they waited till the last minute. When Jay Clayton left to throw out an SEC lawsuit. Warriors, it was an agenda. This is a whole agenda to flood in regulation. It's going to come fast and furious, and a lot of bad actors are going to be stressed, Warriors. There's a whole nother narrative going on this way as you look this way, Warriors. That's exactly how it works. Now, you got to think about the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is one of the most powerful powerhouses. It's $640-something thousand just to have a membership. It was created in 1971, January, and the gold standard was detached in 1971, in August. Since the gold standard, we've been a printing machine and quantitative easing. Now we're in a low interest rate environment. We are moving to digital currency. Now, the World Economic Forum says shaping the future of technology, governance, blockchain, and digital assets. This is a platform or a committee to help usher our world into the new Green Deal, into the new zero carbon by 2050. And many cryptocurrencies are leading the way in that. VeChain is a zero carbon or working towards a zero carbon cryptocurrency. XRP is deemed a zero carbon, one of the first zero carbon cryptocurrencies. But everybody's running like dogs from XRP because of the SEC lawsuit. You have to look at the full picture. What are they telling you here? Bitcoin's a fraud, Bitcoin's a fraud, Bitcoin's a fraud. We're suing SEC, is suing Ripple, making you super scared of the cryptocurrency space as they rush in regulation. One thing I want to show you guys, okay? So this is the World Economic Forum, some of the powerhouses in the world making financial decisions for basically you and me. Okay, here's their partners. Look at some of their partners. Accenture, connected to Ripple. Citibank. Okay, some of the big ones that you guys may know. So you got Citibank. Let's show some more here. IBM, JP Morgan, interesting. Microsoft, Ripple, what the heck? Ripple, connected to XRP, is part of the committee in the World Economic Forum for cryptocurrency, for the blockchain, for how your world is going to run in the future wars. We are moving into the fourth industrial revolution right now, the quantum financial system, and you guys are super confused. Democrat, Republican, Catholic, Mormon, they have us in a jar and they shook the living shit out of us. And a whole shift in generational wealth is happening right now. Now, I stated this in July on my TikTok, and since July, have you seen the growth in cryptocurrencies? A lot of my warriors' portfolios have doubled since July last year. So there's a thing called fear of missing out, called FOMO, and it's usually too late. When people jump on board is when everybody jumps on board, and that's when price appreciation is at a belief level, and then it goes to what's called a euphoria level. When it hits a euphoria level, that's when people get wrecked in the marketplace. So we're still in an opportunity right now in the crypto space where you can smartly and use your brain and get educated to come into the space to learn how to create generational wealth. Now, this is much bigger than Wealth Wars. This is about learning the game so you can never be played in the future, because you can do this type of research in any type of environment, stock environment. I just made a huge move yesterday, consulted my wise counsel, Kev, my business partner. We sat there, we thought about it. We made a really big move that I'll share with my private warriors when the time is right, that is going to change the world and change our lives. But we make slow, methodical decisions based on connections, warriors. So, like I said, don't trust a word I say. Learn to do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But if you want to be part of our private warrior academy, where you're going to see this type of research, a cryptocurrency call every Thursday, I go over my portfolio. I show my exact portfolio, what I invest in. I had a change in my portfolio. I'll update it for my warriors today. Also, we have a Discord with over 300 warriors sharing information. We have a technical analysis team in there. We do videos, basic videos, how to. We also do a 120-day challenge where we work out with us live daily. Nutrition plan. We work from the inside out, warriors, because this isn't about just getting rich, because we're already wealthy. If this all went away, I'm already still wealthy, warriors. So we're here to support you. We love you. We appreciate you. You know what we always say, warriors rise. All the details are down in the description below. Thank you. Have a great day.